stuck for 30 minutes on the train.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah.
Oh well.
I had to play Bowser against Belmont in bracket.
Not a great matchup.
I didn't win that.
No.
And oh god, we got Daisy Steve. So this matchup is
finals? Oh, semis.
Semis, I think.
Oh.
This matchup is not fun for Peach.
Ew.
Not a good time.
She likes being the one who's like, oh, you're forced to approach, and then I'm really good at close range.
Yeah.
And Steve kind of is the DLC version of that.
Yeah. No, Steve does not want to make the first move. He has the ability to once in a while if he has to, but like, that's not his game plan, and Daisy is not great at making him do it.
Well, we're seeing Nuggetz. He's being very aggressive at the start because at the start, Steve's tools are not as threatening.
Right, it's a character who like is sort of the logical extreme of fighting Lucario, not Lucario, of fighting Wario.
Yeah.
Where like you want the game to happen quickly in terms of time. Of course, with Wario, that's about the clock itself. With Steve, that's more about how much time he's had to farm, get resources. Steve's playing a MOBA while the rest of us are playing Smash.
How much time he's sitting there like, let me just...
Yeah.
This stage and Battlefield are the two commonly legal stages, I can't pick every region, where Steve uses his shovel to mine. And it doesn't sound very big, but it very much is when you get to Diamond.
What's the difference in effect on that?
The difference in effect is that's not a move Steve wants to use.
Right, yeah.
So on other stages, the big one's when he loses pickaxe, because that's his kill aerials.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
And you can confirm into those of Diamond for low percent kills, but if it breaks, he has to switch it to a different resource.
Right.
And on this stage, when it breaks, he can just craft a new one.
Yeah.
And it doesn't affect his combo game much.
I still don't understand what's going on with TNT sometimes.
So there's 3 active frames for TNT. Steve can only be hit by the 3rd one.
Huh.
The friendly fire is only on for the 3rd one.
Okay.
Which means Steve has time to air dodge before that hitbox comes out and air dodge the first frame.
Interesting. Okay.
Which is why that setup is so good.
Yeah, that makes sense. That explains that. I was never quite sure how that worked.
I didn't understand it until that was explained to me.
Yeah. I have a lot of knowledge about every character who was in the game before COVID. I simply did not care to lab characters I wasn't going to play when I wasn't going to play offline brackets soon anyway.
Something happened in between then and now. Who knows? Now we're seeing also with Steve has Diamond. He doesn't want to craft it for 2 reasons. One, it's kind of hard to craft Diamond. It has the longest craft time.
Also, he's almost dead.
And he's almost dead, and you lose that when you die.
Ooh.
That
was an interesting interaction.
Got the footstool, didn't Anvil?
God, Anvil does so much shield damage.
Anvil is also dead.
Yeah? What frame is up smash?
6.
Yeah. I mean, it was fast. That is even faster than I thought, actually.
That move is actually decently well balanced. It's like, oh, this is a really strong out of shield for a character that really wants you to stop mashing him.
Yeah.
If you whiff, you die.
Ooh. Just at the end of the hit detection on side B. Peach side B uses a detector that's like, if you're in a certain general area, as she moves forward, it will proc the explosion. And then that explosion will hit you, and she won't do it if it won't hit you. But it's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain exactly. It's like a hit detection thing that's different from just a normal hitbox.
Kind of like a snake up smash as a hit detection.
Right, yeah. And it has a particularly strange, large range at the very end of it. So we saw DM get caught by that one. And Nugget's still behind here, but this is definitely closer than it was before.
Steve can have struggle raw killing, especially with a character and piloted by someone who's so comfortable moving his Nuggets. But he doesn't find the kill there with my
But it's funny, it's an interesting sort of contradiction of like, he can have some trouble finding a raw kill move sometimes, but he also has an absurd amount of raw kill moves.
Yeah, he really does. And he gets you to the kill percent.
You can just die to like almost anything sometimes. Although for someone whose movement is as tricky as someone like Daisy, it can be tricky sometimes to lock down a hard hit like that. But at the same time, it's much easier if you force Daisy to approach you, which you do when you have a full stock lead.
Yeah.
This should be a kill, or not quite a kill, but I think Frying Pan would have killed there. But it can be tricky to aim that in time.
Yeah, you gotta remember to.
I liked Peach up smash a lot more from the perspective of a Peach player, because I was in Smash 4. I liked it a lot more when it was in order.
Yeah.
I could almost always have Tennis Racket, because that was the best one in that game. And you could sort of like cycle through to the other ones when you had downtime if they were good in the matchup. But also Racket was first, so if you only needed one in a game, you got the best one. A lot more convenient to me. I think this one is objectively better for the character if you are perfect at reacting to things, but like, harder to play around mentally.
We've seen KOM select some pretty fast with Golf Club and Ledge.
Yeah, it's certainly a thing, you're certainly able to do it. It's like, having the ability to do it as an input is theoretically going to be an improvement all the time, because you can always do the right one. However, it requires you to like think on the fly instead of already have planned what the optimal thing would be. Oh, that caught him. He's gonna die.
That
Yeah.
that is a weird one because you're trying to focus on what Steve's gonna do, but once he jumps at the minecart, if you're above 100, you have to be cognizant of I can't just shield that.
Yeah,
it will
it's
kill confirm.
Yeah, you're in a bad spot there.
Yeah.
So DM takes game 1. This is still best of 3, I believe.
Yes, it's semis.
Because it's a top 4.
The previous semis
Okay.
was best of 3, so this one has to
Yeah.
be.
Okay, so this is going to be game 2. DM already on set point, and I assume we'll see Daisy Steve again.
Yes.
Obviously, Trey doesn't really have secondaries that'll play in bracket. DM does, but doesn't usually switch when he wins. We'll see it once in a while.
Honestly,
Yo, subspace music.
Trey is
Yes.
Nuggetz is very much like Final Destination in this matchup.
Yeah.
For reasons other than, of course, what we said earlier, because no platforms for Steve to escape to when his disadvantage isn't
And
great.
FG is a really good Peach stage across the board.
Yeah.
It's a stage that both me and him and also any of the other Peach players we had, back in Smash 4, Mo Turnips when he was around, people like that, almost all the Peaches would usually counterpick to FT. And it depends on the matchup to some degree, but this has been a strong stage for Peach for a long time. Still is in Melee and Brawl as well. I mean, this is always a character who's liked having a lack of platforms. I don't think it's as strong of a counterpick in this matchup as it is in some.
Yes.
You talked about the resources and which weapon you farm with is important. But I also think Steve just doesn't really suffer from having a lack of platforms. He can build his own for combos.
Yeah.
and I don't think he gets that much out of having platforms in neutral anyway.
And he can build his own for disadvantage in some
Yeah.
situations.
Yeah, exactly. The main uses of platforms,
I really liked that fake
That was
out
really
where he
good.
looked like he was about to set up the TNT and then called out.
Yeah, because jumping over that would be the correct counterplay to that. You could have gotten above it from that range.
And Steve Bear, incredibly large move.
It's so big.
I don't want to say deceptive because he really does throw the pickaxe
Yeah,
out there, but
it's accurate to the visual, but the visual is massive.
yeah. And we saw here.
It kind of makes me sad to see Steve's go for up tilt out of shields when it won't punish and something else will true punish.
Yeah.
Because they know it's going to work anyway.
Also, sometimes they're afraid of us that are afraid of up smash, but things like the fast nair Steve has out of
Right,
shield
yeah.
for both ways is a strong one.
What frame is neutral air? Is it 4?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fast. So that's a frame 7 out of shield option in, either direction above him. Or the frame 6 up smash in front of him we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So, up tilt also really good at catching spot dodges as he gets hit by the brick choke on the turnip there, but techs it easily. If you know it's going to stage spike you, it's not a bad idea to let it hit you in tech.
Refreshes your invincibility.
Exactly. It does that. It also just takes it out of the equation.
Yeah.
Peach can't realistically be ready to combo off that without just giving you a free get up attack. So it's very difficult for Peach to play around that and oh, nice goal.
We're seeing DM very comfortable, I'd say, throwing out
Yes.
these grabs, which is something I do support. Steve gets a lot out of them, and it is quite punishable, but I hesitate to say a grab that large is bad.
Yes, it's very slow, but I don't know. I wouldn't call ZSS's grab bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call old Link's grab bad.
I wouldn't
you know,
either.
Smash 4 Link. Super old Link had a very bad grab. That's a different story. I play 64 Samus, so I know that those used to be really bad, but tether grabs are often I think considered bad in times where they're really not it's different strengths and weaknesses.
One of Steve's less easily accessible setups is you can place a block above the ground, and if you go a certain position, your grab will hit it and fall straight down.
Oh yeah.
And the grab box will still be active, and you can get some really weird
I have seen that once in a while. It's very confusing. Also, Steve grab definitely low lag by tether grab standards.
Yeah.
It's it's not as little as Luigi, but certainly not as laggy as someone like ZSS, like a Villager. Villager doesn't even really get a tether grab; it has more lag. Okay, good movement there.
We are seeing Trey ready for the grabs, though. Pretty
He is, and
consistently.
he's more and more ready for them as time goes on. Oh, really nice to see that side B height. If he landed on stage, that would have been an auto cancel. It was right at the bottom height for that. That's something I've actually seen a lot more from all Peach players. All the really good Peach players I've been watching recently. Using that side B to really mix people up. Ling Ling does it very well. I was watching a Texas local last night. Orex does that incredibly well. And it's a really effective mix-up because side B, it is still punishable. It has lag in the air. But if you do it, even below maximum short hop height, it auto-cancels the moment you hit the ground. In Smash 4, you can set up a short hop air dodge. So that's the height that you're looking for, is like the old short hop air dodge height.
That's a percent where, even though TM got that grab, you actually can't get too much with proper DI, which we saw.
He's dead.
Yup.
He's at 66.
The sword removed the dirt there, too.
Uncharged Diamond Death Smash, going to kill at 66.
Earlier on commentary, we were talking about that me brawler F Smash is balanced by being very strong but high end and startup. Steve just doesn't have that.